The topic for today is bulldozer. So we have seen bulldozer several times on the road while construction of road or wherever there is landslide. Whatever mud has come on the road, it has to be cleared. So the best machine for clearing of road of mud debris or earth landslide is bulldozer. So especially in notice, almost everyone you might have experienced a site where bulldozer is working. So in most of the cases you might have seen a bulldozer similar to the one which is visible right now on your screen. There is crawler type or track type bulldozer. So we have already discussed undercarriage of a bulldozer of a crawler tractor. So basically undercarriage remains the same whether it is bulldozer or excavator, loader, digger or whatever it is, undercarriage portion is same. So the common portion is the undercarriage part. Only the working portion, that is your in this case this is your working portion. This will differ. All the crawler tractors, whether it is bulldozer, excavator or trencher, digger, whatever it is, these portions remains the same. Engine and the wheel or track types, this remains the same. This is the working portion. This only you have to alter. In case of bulldozer, we have this huge blade. This blade is used for pushing the earth material. All right. So these parts you have already seen. So basically, we'll discuss about the blade of bulldozer. So what is a bulldozer? It is a type of excavator which is used for digging and pushing the dirt or soil from one place to another. Normally, when we push it from one place to another, it is a short distance, like from the roadside, from the road to a nearby hill slope. All right, there is the classic example when there is a landslide on the road, we just have to clear the road, isn't it? So whatever lane has been accumulated on the road, on the highway, that portion we have to clear. Similarly, when there is snowfall, we have to get rid of the snow from the path. So we have to push the snow in such a way that it does not fall on the way. All right, so that is simply the basic purpose of dozer is for pushing. So you can see here, dozers are tractors equipped with front pusher blade. This is your front pusher blade, which can be raised or lowered hydraulically or using some cable control. This is old technology, cable control. Nowadays, all the machines which we see or which are available in present day, they are all hydraulically operated. And you see here, you can see your cylinder and piston. So operating the cylinder and piston, we can manipulate the blade. Anyway, so which is used for digging and pushing up to a distance of approximately 150 meter. Short distance, not even half kilometer. All right, only on the work site. It pushes the soil only on the work site, not from work site to some another place. For that, we have to load on a truck or dumper and then shift it to another place. But since this is a crawler type, this will work on a small area of a short distance. So working components. In working components, we don't discuss about the engine or the tracks. We are concerned only about this part. Working component means the component which are engaged in soil working, in moving the soil or disturbing the soil, manipulating the soil. You see, it is a massive structure that has rectangular base and back. You see, this is your base. This is more or less rectangular in shape. This is made of three portions, one and the big centerpiece and one more on the edge. Two edge pieces and one big centerpiece. This is your cutting blade. This portion is used for cutting the soil, cutting the earth. Alright. In a rectangular base. and back. So the back portion is on the back, if you see, it is straight, but if you see from the front, this is curved. You can see here, this is curved. This curved portion is called moldboard. Why it is curved, we will see later on. The leading edge of the base is a flat blade or knife of tough hard steel which projects ahead of and below the rest of the blade. See, this is this portion we are talking about, the cutting edge or knife. The front of the blade is called the moldboard and is concave and sloped backward. You see, this portion, this huge portion, this is curved inside. This is called moldboard. It collects the soil and it rolls the soil over in this fashion. In this particular picture, if the tractor moves from right to left, so the movement of the soil when it pushes, it will be in this direction, that is anti-clock direction. It will collect the soil, cut the soil, move it upward and roll in anti-clock direction, and the soil will fall ahead again. So in this way, pushing will take place. As his blade is pushed into the ground, the knife cuts and breaks up the dirt, which is then pushed up the curve of the moldboard until it falls forward. Material being pushed ahead of the blade is thus kept more or less in rotary movement. Because of the shape of the moldboard is curved in nature, so the movement of the material will be rotary type, which tends to even up the load and offer less friction and a larger load that would be obtained with a flat. That means in case if this was a flat type, straight moldboard, that it cannot take more load, because whatever load will come, it will try to resist the motion of the dozer. But in this case, what happens? Whatever load is coming, the material is being moved more or less in a rotary motion. That means whatever material is coming, it is moving again, rolling upward and moving ahead, rolling upward and moving ahead. So in this way, the load acting on this is less. It is not accumulating here. In case this is a straight type, then the load will be have tendency to accumulate here. So therefore, due to this curved nature, less impact or less load is experienced by this dozer, so that it can push more load, larger load. All right, then would be obtained with a flat vertical moldboard. So you see the blade, this blade, you see we have, it is a massive structure that has rectangular base and back. Rectangular base and back, you see here. This base is here rectangular in shape, which we have seen earlier, blade. This back is also straight, rectangular type, alright, flat. But from the front, if you see, it is concave moldboard. But from the back, reinforcement is given in such a way that it is more or less flat plate. The edge is usually in three pieces, which we will discuss: a wide center and two corners. Wide center, two corners, two edge. They are reversible so that they can be removed and turned upside down when worn. That means after working for some time, this blade will get worn, wear and tear. So this we can reverse it in such a way that this lower portion will go up and this upper portion will come down. Alright, so as simple as that is reversible. The corners wear fastest and are sometimes built up by welding until the whole edge is so worn as to need reversing or replacing. So that means the edges of the knife, the two edges, they wear fastest. They are, subject to maximum wear and tear. There is the one of the major component, blade. Another one is push arm. See here, push frame. So inside the frame there will be push arm. Push arm is basically nothing but inside they have hydraulic rams, cylinders. So extension and contraction of cylinders, as we have seen in in hydraulic circuit, when the cylinder extends outside or when it contracts inside due to the movement of fluid, which is again directed by DCV, direction control valve, the hydraulic cylinder, the piston inside the hydraulic cylinder moves in or out. So push arm is nothing but hydraulic cylinders which moves in which there is piston in which moves in and out, and because of the movement the direction of the blade can be changed. So this portion inside this, they are heavy hollow beams extending from a hinged connection with the tractor to the bottom of the blade. They should be attached to the blade near its outer edges, as the greatest distance normally occur at the corners. You see, they are attached on the outer edge, not towards the center, on the outer edge, so that it can provide resistance, support whenever we are pushing the dozer or whenever we are working on the work site. All right. Now this is important part, pitch arm. It is important because it's used for adjusting. Here you see these are diagonal members between push arm and the blade top. They brace the blade against the loads above the line of push arms and may provide means for regulating its pitch and tilt. You see this arrow, this portion is your pitch arm. You can see here hydraulic cylinder, pitch arm. There is one more pitch arm on the other side. So there are two sets of pitch arm. So you see how they are working, we will see. If you extend this and push the top of the blade, what will happen? The angle of attack will be very sharp. And if you contract, angle of attack will be less. Here again you can see this pitching of blade. How much extension we will provide here, that much the sharper of angle. Sharper angle. You see here, you see in this case pitch and tilt. You see here pitch. When extension, you see here this is small extension. This is your cylinder and a piston rod is extended here, small amount. In this case, angle is, you can see this angle, it is more than 90 degree. If you compare from the ground part from this side, is more than 90 degree. So if the ground is soft, we can make or we can operate at this angle. However, if the ground is hard, we cannot push easily. Then you see we have extended this piston rod. When we extend this piston rod, the angle changes. Now you see it is more or less 90 degree from the ground. So in this way, this pitch arm is used to change the angle of attack. But at which angle are you attacking the ground? For soft ground, this kind of angle is enough. For hard ground, see, you have to make this type of angle. Here also you can see hydraulic cylinder and piston rod. If we pull this piston rod inside, the angle of attack will be less. It will become somewhat like this. And if you extend it further, the angle of attack will be high. Now what is tilt? Tilt is side to side angle of blade with the horizontal. You see here, this has been tilted hydraulically. The angle this blade is making with the ground, with the horizontal, that is your tilt angle. Alright, this is your corner, two pieces of corner and one center piece. So this together will make the knife or cutting edge of the blade. This portion is called mold board. This entire thing is called dozer blade. This is called knife or cutting edge moldboard combined together dozer blade. Alright. Now dozer may be straight or angle type. Nowadays mostly angle dozers are coming, but earlier this provision or this invention was not available. So at that time only straight dozers were available. Bulldozers with straight blade are called straight dozers, as simple as that, and those with blades that can be set at an angle are called angle dozers. You see, in this case we are manipulating the angle with horizontal. Bulldozers can also be okay. The angle dodgers can also act as straight dodgers. Of course, if you set at an angle in neutral angle, it will become straight dodgers. However, we can also divide bulldozer with respect to their mounting. Means whether they are mounted on wheels or they are mounted on track. Okay, so that is basically what we have seen difference between track type and wheel type tractor. So if the tractor has got a dozer blade mounted on it, it will become bulldozer tractor. Angling dozers, bulldozers which have blades that may be set at an angle to cast dirt to either side while the tractor moves forward. It means you want to throw the dirt on one side while moving forward. In such cases, we can make use of angle dozers. See, they have hydraulic cylinder to angle the blade in the required position. Now see, blade tilt adjustment. Blade tilt adjustment is performed hydraulically and usually with the automatic control system. Automatic control system operates only when the tractor engine speed is within the specified range. That means you have to set an speed, suppose 5 km per hour. At 5 km per hour, you have to push the dirt or soil. Now, when the resistance to the blade push rises, so that there is decrease in engine speed.
ফোন করে দাও না, করলে দিয়ে লেবো। আমি একবার ফোন করে ওই দিত তুমি।
So, when the resistance to the blade push rises so that there is decrease in engine speed. That means we have earlier set the engine speed at 5 km per hour, but due to heavy load, more load, the engine speed has decreased. In such case, the control panel will automatically disable the automatic control system because we have set it at a certain angle, isn't it? So because of that angle and because of increase in load, the tractor, the bulldozer is not moving at our specified speed. That means chances are there that the dozer cannot take the load. So in such case, the automatic control system will disable the angle at which it is set, and it will retain to its neutral position. And once the tractor regains the speed, the system resumes its operation. Alright. So considering safety, suppose you have set an angle of 20°. So while pushing the material, due to some reason, there is too much load and you cannot push ahead at a specified speed. Earlier, let us suppose we have set a speed of 5 km per hour, but now you have seen that the bulldozer is operating at 3 km per hour speed. So that means the load is more than the estimated load. So you have a fear that it may cause some damage to the hydraulic parts. So in such case, automatic control system will get disabled, so that the safety of the dozer is maintained. So once the load is reduced, the automatic control system will again sense that okay, the dozer is now working at 5 km per hour speed, So again it will re-engage at the specified angle, that is 20-degree angle in our case. So in such a way, so in this way, automatic control system will help in operating the required angle. So basically what is important is you have to understand that there are different type of dozers: straight dozers, angle dozers, wheel type dozers, track type dozers. So nowadays, the common one is track type angle dozers. So angle dozers are used for throwing the dirt on one side of the road, and also it can be used at uh, maintaining the slope, or suppose you want to make a V-shaped channel or V-shaped nala. Alright, so you can angle the dozer in this way. You see in this picture, the third picture. By engaging in such a way, by providing such tilt, or maybe you can increase the tilt. By increasing the tilt and pushing the soil, so a gentle slope we can achieve, is not it? So this slope drain also can be prepared with the help of such dozers. So in this way, according to the situation, we have to set the angle. In this case, we are changing the pitch angle. In this case, we are changing the tilt angle. So again, we have seen already this several times: wheel type bulldozer, track type dozer. So wheel type, they have the advantage of high speed, higher mobility. You can move from work site to your garage by self, more efficient in long travels. But in case of our track dozers, though they can push more load, they can work in rough conditions, but transporting the dozer from one place to another is difficult. They're expensive to maintain, expensive to buy initially, and there is more amount of wear and tear. Alright, so again in this case you can see this is the center blade, edge, this is the main soil working part. This portion will cut the soil, this portion will receive the soil, mold board. This is your knife or edge of the cutting blade. Alright,